In this video, I'm going to show how to make a Sencha Touch application within Sencha Architect that communicates to a back-end server using ASP.NET Web API. ASP.NET Web API is a great way to make a RESTful application using the .NET framework, and I've downloaded and installed the release candidate version of ASP.NET MVC4, and this includes the ASP.NET Web API, and I'm using Visual Studio 2010. I've already created a simple database in SQL Express 2008 for this particular demo, and at the moment this has one table called user inside with some records, and what I'm going to do is make a simple Sencha Touch application that administers the contents of this table via ASP.NET Web API calls. So the first thing I'll do is start a new project. And for this I'm creating a C# web project and choosing the ASP.NET MVC4 web application. And for the project name, I'll type in user admin. And on the pop-up screen here, I want to create a web API project. Okay, so my project's now been created, and the first thing I'll do is to customize some of the properties on the project. And the first thing we'll do is change where the website is hosted. For this demo I'm going to use the local IIS web server, and we'll just use the default virtual directory name and click the Create Virtual Directory button. And the next thing we'll do is we'll add a ADO.NET Entity Data Model. And under the Install Templates, we'll choose the ADO.NET Entity Data Model, and we'll type in a name of model.edmx. And we'll generate this model from a database, and we'll create a new connection string. And I've created a SQL user account for this with just a demo username and demo password, and we'll save that password. And we'll store that information in the connection string for now. And we'll set the connection string name to entities. And then under the list of tables we'll choose to bring in the user table. And then we'll set the model namespace to demo entities and click finish. And this will go off and generate a new diagram with that table in there. So we'll go ahead and build the project. And then the next thing we'll do is add a controller to our project, which will allow us to save, delete and administer these user records. So if you right click on the controller folder, go to the add option and choose controller. And we'll call this our user controller. And the template we want to use is the API controller with read-write actions using the entity framework. And this lists all the classes we have available, so we'll choose the user class from our entity data model. And then our data context class will be our entities. And as you can see here, this has now created a class with methods for returning the list of users, getting a particular user by ID, and also saving, adding and deleting user records. And if you wanted to, you could add extra logic in here if needed, but for this particular demo we're just going to use the template that's been created. And depending on the type of HTTP request that's fired, will vary the particular request which is called within here. For a GET request with a specified ID, a particular record instance is returned. For a GET request with no ID specified in the query string, the list of records is returned. For a PUT request, an existing record is updated. And for a POST request, a new record is created. And then for a delete request, an existing record is deleted. So we'll build the project again, and that's worked fine. And then in the web browser, we'll just check that this is working okay. So we'll go to localhost/useradmin, which is my virtual directory name, /API/user. And this has returned a XML format of the data set. So because we're calling this page directly, it's going to be in the XML format. When it's called via an AJAX request, the JSON format will be requested. So now we'll start work on our Sencha Touch project within Architect. So I've got a blank Architect project here, and the first thing to do will be to add a new model. And we'll call this model user. And we'll add a number of fields to this. First one being ID, next one being name, the email address, and then finally the age. And ID we want to set to an integer, and the same for the age field. What we'll then do is add a REST proxy to our model. And on the proxy, we'll set the URL property. And then we'll also add some validation to our model. And this first email validation will validate the email address format. And then we'll add a presence validation to ensure that the name has been specified. Now that we've defined the model, we can go ahead and add a store to our project. And this is going to be a simple JSON store. And we'll set the autoload property to true. And we'll also define the model that this particular store is going to use. And we'll also set the ID of the store as well. Then on the proxy, we'll define the URL property again. Now if we right click on the store, we'll choose the option to load data. And if we click on the preview icon here, we can see a preview of that returned data. And as you can see, it's in the JSON format. So that's the data layer defined. So the next thing to do will be to define our views within the project. So I'll start off by adding a navigation view. And we'll set the ID of this view to main. Then we'll add a list to that navigation view. And we'll set the ID to user list. And we'll set the title to users. And then we'll set the item template and we'll change this to show it shows the name followed by the email address. And then we'll set the store as well. And you can see that's shown a preview of the data. Then we'll add a form panel. And we'll set the user class name to user form. And we'll set the ID to user form. And to this particular form we'll add a few fields. So we'll add a text field and set the label to name. We'll also store the field name that this is referencing within the model. Next will be our email field. And this is going to link across to the email address property of our model. And then finally our number field, which is going to store our age property. And then we'll add a panel within the form, and this is going to hold our save and delete buttons. So for this we'll set the layout to HBox. So it's going to position all of the child controls in a horizontal layout. And we'll also set the margin to 6 pixels. And then we'll add a button to the panel. And the first one will be our save button. The next one will be our delete button. And we'll set the flex property on here so that they're positioned equally. And for the save button we'll use a different UI style and we'll apply a different UI style to the delete button. And for the save button we'll add a custom property called action, and this is going to have a value of save. And we'll do the same for the delete button, but we'll change the action property. So now that we've defined our two views, we'll go ahead and add a controller to the project. And this will be our user controller. And we'll start off by adding references to the controls that we need. And the first one will be main view, and that will be referencing the main navigation view. The next one will be user form, and this will be referencing the user form by ID. And finally the user list, which will reference the list of users, which has an ID of user list. Next we'll add a controller action. And this will be for our list control. and it'll be for the item tap event. And for the control query, we're going to specify the ID of the control that this is targeting. Now we can double click on here to copy and paste some code I created earlier. So all this is going to do is create a new instance of our user form with a title based on the passed in record. We'll get a reference to the main navigation view and we'll add that new form to it. And then we'll call the setRecord method on the form, passing in a reference to the selected record from the list. We'll then add another controller action, and this will be targeting the save button, and this will be for the tap event. And the control query will change to action equals save, and we'll set the function name to onSave. And then I'll copy and paste some code I created earlier. And what this will do is it will get reference to the user form, it will get the values from that particular form, and also get the record instance. It will apply the values from the form to the record, and then it calls the record is valid method to ensure that any validation checks have passed. If it's valid, it will call record.save, which will go off to our .NET Web API service, and if it's successful, it will return back to the main view. Otherwise, it will show a validation message to the user. We'll then add our final action, and again this will be for a button, our delete button this time, and we'll choose the tap event, and the control query will change to action equals delete, and we'll set the function name to onDelete. And then we'll copy and paste some code I created earlier. So this will go off to the user form again, it will get the record, and it will call record.erase, and on the success of that call, it will remove the record from the client-side store and then return to the main list view. So we'll go ahead and save the project, and we'll save this within the .NET Web project. And we'll just set the project name to app for now. And then we'll launch the web browser. And you can see our list of users. Now if we select a particular user, we can change the name of this user and hit save, and it returns to the list. And if we refresh the data, you can see that's loaded the data again with the committed change. You can see that the service is working correctly, and we can also go in and delete records if required. And if we refresh the page, you can see the list of users again. And if we return to the database and reload the table data, you can see that the records have been removed from the database as well.